Yeah. Hey, yo, it's Friday Night Live, 365. We party with Sharika, yo, she keeping it live. We got the people on the couch, need to get up on your feet. Do I have your attention? It's the 6th day of the week.
Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. Are you paying attention? She's talking to you.
Party people, listen up, we got the guests and the experts. Great conversation every Friday for the record. 7 p.m. Tell your people and your friends. Here we go, start the show, let the convo begin.
Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. So get ready, cause she's talking to you.
10, 9, 8, quiet on the set, radio. 765, camera rolling, ayo, start the show. 4, 3, 2, 1,
365.
let's go.
Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. So get ready, cause she's talking to you. Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. So get ready, cause she's talking to you.
10, 9, 8, quiet on the set, radio. 765, camera rolling, ayo, start the show. 4, 3, 2, 1,
365.
let's go.
Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Live with your girl, me, Rickey Abercrombie. And I am so excited to have my son here with us at Friday Night Live. We're going to go ahead and welcome him to the studio. Hey, son.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, he's trying to be GQ, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He Mr. Swagger himself, honey. So this is my oldest son, and I know all about him, but I want you to tell the people about yourself.
Well, I am a 19-year-old entrepreneur. I like to wrestle. I like to read books. I like to play video games with my spare time. And I also like to work on my business.
Okay, do your business. What type of books are you reading?
Well, currently I'm reading 2 books. One is on leadership. I got those right here. It is by John C. Matthews, or Maxwell, I mean. It's about leadership and just different strategies and different type of leaders. Some show leadership by doing, some show leadership vocally, and some show leadership by doing both. So, just finding different ways people show their expressive self on leadership. And I also have another book. It's called How to Create Lifetime Cash Flow Through Multifamily Properties. It has a 90-day action plan included. It's by Rod Cleef, #1 seller. And it just goes basically into how he bought his first, multifamily properties and how he monetized it, and, just different ways on how he made money through real estate. That's about it.
Oh, so hey, you definitely want to know and get the knowledge inside of yourself from people that have already done it. Of course, you got me and your dad to lean and glean from, but it's always good to expand that knowledge based by following people that has already done what you're trying to do. And definitely trying to get into the multi-family is always good to pick up you a good book. So I'm glad we done put that in you, that you like to read. Well, I ain't gonna say he like to read, y'all. He just like to read books that he like to read that's gonna take him somewhere. Because if it's just something that I tell him to read, it may or may not get read.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that you picked up those books.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you went off to college. Most people do know that do, follow me. So how are you liking college?
It's a lot. Very fast paced. Because I don't go to a traditional college. But it definitely helps you master time management, making sure that you prioritize your day hour by hour to make sure that you're using every hour of the day that you're awake to the best that you can, making sure that you're not wasting time and, get your work done as soon as possible so you can have a day at least to, regroup or do homework or just, do what you like to do. I like to make sure that I at least have one day out of the week that I just, give back to myself to make sure that I'm back ready for and prepare myself for the following week. I just take it day by day.
Now that's good. Yeah. Making sure time management, because a lot of people think, well, when you're a college student, yeah, you have to be somewhere on time, but not only are you a college student, but you work for the school in the welding department. So tell them about your experience and what's your title with welding and how does that work with your school flow?
Well, welding, I am a structural welder. My department is X18, so I'm an X18 welder. So with structure, there's different levels. You have structure, you have pipe, and you have, I think that's the main two. There's other departments. You got like tack welders, but those are X11s, and they put the ship together and we weld it basically. So, but I am a structural welder, so that means I do most of the building of the walls, installment of the pipe, making sure that is connected to the bulkheads, which are bulkheads meaning walls in the ship, the big thick walls in the ship. I also weld like hangers, and hangers are basically just things that keep everything in place in the ship. I don't have pictures because we can't take pictures in the shipyard, but there are different things that that I weld that helps build America's best ships, basically.
Wow. And y'all know, I would tell y'all the company that he worked for, but I'm not because it's a part of the government and I ain't trying to get him in trouble by telling y'all. But the fact that our troops are able to do their thing using what he do, I am a proud mom. I salute you, sir. Making sure that you're building those things to the best of your ability. Hey, they are, well, I would say Ford tough, but Ford got a bad rep a long time ago. I don't know how they even came back from that. Somebody tell me down in the comments, because I don't know. So I'm glad that you were able to do that. And most people don't know that he was able to go to school scot free by using what he was already doing in school. So the wrestling and the welding, it provided him a space where he was able to go to a school that offered both. And I mean, just tell us a little bit about that journey because it wasn't as easy getting into that school as most people would think.
Yeah, it was definitely a journey to get to where I am now. Going into, going into my junior year, still trying to pursue a, career in football in college. That didn't really go out too well due to COVID. That definitely put a halt in the recruiting standpoint for me. I didn't know really what was going on, and my whole world really was just on freeze. So I went out just looking for different opportunities and talking to different coaches and seeing what I could do or show them what I, offered to their team. But it was definitely tough. But due to the help to some of my coaches and God, obviously, I was able to have my senior year in football, no injuries, wrestling, no injuries, which I'm thankful for. I'm also thankful for my wrestling coach who reached out to the wrestling coaches at my school that I go to now, and they called me and told me they were interested, and we just kept in touch. The process took about, I'd say, close to 6 to 7 months, to, from the interview stage to get an interview by the coaches, talking to them, and then they offered me, which got me into my job portion of it. Then I had to get another interview through their employers to make sure that I was qualified and said I could do what I could do. I had to go through that process, and then I had to start. All that took about maybe close to a year, like 8 months to finally get over to where I am now. But it definitely wasn't easy. But with God, you can do anything. So I'm definitely grateful for that process.
Because Lord, it was definitely a process. Because I knew he wanted to go to school, and the time frame for most graduates had closed, but he wanted this particular school. Even though he had other offers that had offered him, he wanted this particular school to be able to do both. And so, as a mom, watching your son wait for something that they want and not being able to help, or not being able to really just do much to, as moms, we want to push the process along, or we want to help them go further, or we want to say, oh, well, what can I do? This one, that type of process. So and I think that journey really just, it solidified my faith too, because I had to watch him be patient as other scholarships were, they had expired. So, they had a time that he had to, acknowledge that he wanted to go to their school and sign on. And so those had expired before he even got, I think, the first interview, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So those had expired before he even got the first interview. So that means to me, so as a mom, or as a, I'm in my 30s, late 30s, almost 40, knocking real hard, okay? Watching that and watching him just be patient and like, no, this is the school. I'm gonna be steadfast. I'm gonna pray about it. And I know the Lord is gonna open this door. Man, put my faith on like another level. So when he actually got in, it was just like, what? You know, but he just did the work. So even in high school, he was doing the work. All of this stuff that he got himself into, wrestling and football, he did all that on his own. He just took us along for the ride. He knew where he was going in life, and he just like, hey, this is what I want to do. And I always encourage you, even as parents, allow your children to kind of see where they want their life to go, and you just be the guiding force behind it. Unless they don't have no direction, then of course you give them some. But if they're like, no, I think I need to go into this or go into that or do this because I know what I want to do in life, like be supportive. 10 toes down, as him and my sister say. Be 10 toes down. So, and I'm just honored to have a 19-year-old, okay? And he has good credit. Tell people about your good credit. Of course, y'all know I do credit, but tell people about your good credit.
Yeah, I currently have around a 770s ish. I haven't checked in a while, but it's up there.
Well, it definitely ain't went down because he follows the rules. He makes sure he keeps his credit below 10% on his credit cards. He definitely paid. Look, let me not answer for him. So how do you keep your credit cards?
Well, at first I didn't know really what I was doing, but with the help of my mom, she, told me the strict steps, do this or don't do nothing else. And I did what she told me to do. And my credit score just skyrocketed after that. Just, staying between the 30% criteria. Usually I stay less than that. I go 10%. To make sure that, it shows the credit bureau that I don't need their money, but I'm using it to build my credit. And that's what I do. I make sure I put all my bills on auto pay, put them on my credit card. And I don't want to give, free information, but, that's a little bit about what I do to make sure that, my credit score is, continue to rise as I, build my creddit history.
Right. And yeah, don't give him too much information. Just get a little pepper, little salt, little seasoning.
A little something.
A little something. And yes, because credit, most people will have you out there in the world believing, oh yeah, business credit, but your personal credit is just as important as establish, or if not more important as establishing business credit. So that it leads me to, just really you telling us really about your business and what you do.
Oh, about my business, I am a landlord. So basically, I buy properties, fix them up if I have to. Most of the time, I try to look for stuff that doesn't need that much work. And then the hardest part is really just finding people to put into, the rooms, But other than that, that's really what I do. I help with maintenance, upkeep, and making sure that everything's running smoothly. Communication, say the lights, not the lights go out, but say like it rains really bad, which happens often, and a power line goes out. The power company, they communicate with me saying this is the time frame that we're gonna come out there and fix it, and it's been pretty solid so far. And I just communicate that hey, the Wi-Fi might be out between this time and this time. If it's continued to be out between this time and this time, give me a call and I'll take care of it. And I believe I've upheld that code with my tenants. But other than that, I collect payments as well, which is the best part. Not too much work, not too much to it. But
He
other
gets
than
him
that,
on the tab. Collect that check. And so he was telling you about his tenant. So the way he does he actually rents his out by the room to his college buddies. So they all go to school together, they wrestle together, and they have their own room, and he rents them out by the room. And that's how he does his form of real estate. So most people do theirs by the whole house, but because they are college students, most of them don't need a whole living quarters. And they wrestle together, they work together, and then they come and they live together. Okay. But honey, navigating it's easier navigating those type of living quarters with people with like personalities. I guess that's how I want to put that. And you also do the Amazon business. So tell us
uh,
a little bit about that.
all right. Well, I just started not too long ago a new business with Amazon. It's called Amazon FBA. Uh, okay, FBA means fulfillment by Amazon. I had to remember what it meant, but basically, I just give a little spiel. I don't want to give too much, but basically, I'm opening up a new online e-commerce store where I'll be selling products that I feel that will help make people's lives easier. That's my motto. But just different items such as kitchen items to make cooking faster or more efficient, or things that will help you use less equipment in the kitchen, um just little stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely on the way. So be on the lookout for that. Should be launching our first product in around August, late July, early August. So that's definitely excited for that part of my business.
So what made you interested in so go because you went from real estate to, and of course everybody know you're a serial entrepreneur, but what made you go from real estate to wanting to do the Amazon
Um, well, going back to COVID year, I saw there was a lot of jobs were getting shut down, and the only jobs that was really working were like essential workers. Well, basically that's what they call them. So it wasn't a lot of work. A lot of work got canceled, or people work from home. Some people that had the opportunity, so they searched out, and I saw it on social media that people were doing Amazon FBA, but I personally didn't know how to do it. And when I looked it up on YouTube, they weren't really giving like step by step, what you need to do. And, I didn't want to learn by, wasting money and learning on my own. So I bought a course, and, they've been teaching me and, helping me, guide me through that. But I've been wanting to do it for the past 2 years. Um, I wanted to do this because it's just another way to bring in cash flow, make more money, so that I'm able to basically speed up the process with the real estate, and gaining the capital to be able to buy the properties that I want to buy, and do the plan and execute the plans that I have with that side of my business.
Right. And most people don't know that my son actually owns, even though he's being modest, he owns his properties right out. So he paid cash for them. So what he's doing is learning or trying to tell you about saving your money, stacking your money, and then put it into the real estate business Now, you do not have to pay cash to do it. You can do the down payment and the financial. Just my family, personally, we go off of, I did a lot of debt, so I try to encourage my children to do it, to live a debt-free life, right? Because I did the debt for us. So let me be the last generation to take that on. So we do debt-free life. So the goal is to bring in multiple streams of income, then use that income into to fuel your passion, which he loves real estate. And he loves his tenants too, because hey, most of them are they're friends. They see each other all the time, like really all the time. So, so what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs out there that's like, hey, I see him, he's 19 and he's doing real estate, he's doing the Amazon, and I want to know like what is it that I could do, or any advice that you would give to them, just because you're young. So what would you give them just starting out, other young entrepreneurs?
I would say find your passion first. Find something that you're very passionate about, and then figure out a way to monetize it no matter what it is. If you're passionate about it, do something that you love to do, because if you do something that you hate to do, you won't stick with it. You'll dread life, and you're just wasting your days. But I saw a photo, and basically it says people die way before they actually pass away, because they give up on their dreams, they give up on all the things that they wanted to do in life, and then they work all these years, 45 years, just to have maybe 10, 15 to really enjoy once they're old and gray, and then they die. And that's kind of, I found that was powerful, because it's just like, dang, people really do die inside before they actually die on earth, because they just give up on everything they want to do. So I'd say find something you're very passionate about and figure out a way to monetize it and live life. I say.
And when he say live life, he mean travel the world, see what the world got to offer, enjoy it, but you work hard and you play hard. Okay? That's my advice to the people. Work hard, play hard, but do it all in moderation. So that is our time. Little Rickey, we welcome you and we thank you so much for coming to Friday Night Live. I appreciate you. And we're just going to tell y'all, if the people is looking for you, if they like, hey, how do I find that little fine thing right there? He taking. Sorry. But if they want to find you on social media, how would they do that?
You can contact me on Facebook, Rickey Abercrombie Jr., name in the title right there. You can type that in on Facebook and shoot me a DM, and we can conversate from there.
Awesome. But don't try to slide in his DMs, lady, because he is taken. Okay? Thank you. But he would definitely be able to lead and guide you to wherever you want to go in your endeavor, especially y'all young people. Reach out to him. I brag about him a lot, but it's mainly because he got his head on straight, as y'all can see, and he's trying to do things to lead his people to the next generation, to free them from some things that my generation put us in. So I just want to thank you so much for doing your part to push society forward. And I want to thank you all out there. Thank you to my Friday Night Live watchers. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see y'all again next Friday. Peace.
Peace.
Friday Night Live 360.